Friday. What's up, guys? There it goes. What's up? So we're gonna get started shortly. We have to do a quick
I don't think we should talk about this. People might.
Y'all know my husband loves music and like blasting it. I don't understand. Let me fix this up. So he'll be right in here. We have to get a wardrobe change because we got our marriage shirts ready to show y'all. I know I wore mine last night for my wives talk. Where my wives at? Where my ladies at? Where my ladies at? What's up? Happy Friday. Y'all don't see us this early on a Friday. And a Friday? Ooh. What's up? What's up? Let me know where y'all calling in from, chiming in from. I'm working on this light over here. This light is way better on this side. So I'm working on this. What's up, Jeff? Thank you for hopping on. Where you at, Jeff? Tell us what area you're chiming in from. Be great to know. Hold on, guys. I get my water bottle because I need something to hold my phone because the light on the other side is everything. And I want some better lighting for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to see the real deal thing. What's up? What's up? Y'all see the title? Y'all see the title? You all see the title. Ooh, I can't move that. You see the title, you see the title, you see the title. Let's talk about sex, guys. What's up? Waiting for my spouse. He'll be coming in a second. Let's go. Y'all hear the song? Ready? We don't own the rights to this music. I don't own the rights to this music. Don't own the rights to this music. I need to turn this more down. There you go. Ooh, I love flicky flick. What up? Let's go. Don't own the rights to the music. Share this live, guys, while we get started. Tag your friends, your married friends, your engaged friends, your soon-to-be married friends, because this is a deep conversation. Is it ready? It's semi-ready. I don't know how you forgot to dry my shirt for the night.
Can I get past you?
Grace! Alright, he gonna take over while I change my shirt. What up, what up, what up? I put it over there, babe.
Okay.
So, work the angles out.
Alright. What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. Happy Friday, guys. How y'all doing? Y'all already hear what it is. Let's talk about sex. Right? So, where you guys checking in from? If she hasn't did that already, just want to know where you guys checking in from on this Friday night. I know some of y'all might be going to have date night. Some of y'all might be going to hang out. Might be getting ready to do a movie. Or getting dressed to go out for the night, We're here in Atlanta, so it's like a little bit after 8, so I know how that's going. Or you might be into sports. You might be going to check out the Hawks. The Hawks, I'm not even checking them out no more. They already said what they was going to do. They showed me what they was going to do, and that's nothing. But yeah, so guys, this is going to be a very interesting conversation, and what we're going to be doing is starting Monday, we're going to be going over this book right here, Intended for Pleasure right here. This is going to be the book. This is going to be the book that we go over. Let me see what happened to this Instagram. Did she go live on here?
Yeah, everything is live.
Oh, there it goes. It didn't go live on that one.
I thought it was. Your connection was messing up? Alright, scoot over. You already put what are you doing?
I was just telling them what book what we're going to go over, but I'm just letting them know, giving them a hint.
That's not a hint. You already showed that.
Alright, well, we'll go over it.
No, that's not what. You done messed up the whole vibe.
See?
No.
There go wifey.
We discussed how we was going to do this.
See? She want to have...
It's not she want to have. Y'all gonna get the real... Y'all about to get the real discussion. This was already set that we were going to have our live with y'all about the topic and then discuss the book we want to do with y'all. But then you bring it up and I'm not even here.
Alright, I'm sorry.
What y'all? And the shit half wet still.
You cursing?
Yes, I am.
See how that goes?
Y'all got to. I'm real, okay? The Barkers keep it 100. Ain't no, oh my God, I love you. No, he should have waited and told y'all the book because it was a big announcement. I've been saying this for days. People not even on yet. He announcing the book. That was sex important. He about to not get none because of that.
She'll get over it.
He'll need to work on it and do some tricks for me to get over it. You better get that right.
Whatever.
Okay.
Let's go.
Y'all gonna learn today. Y'all like our shirts though? That's what I was changing to because Mr. Barker left it wet. Can you see it? Right here, marriage porn. We don't own the rights to this music. Can you see yours, babe?
Yeah. Well, no, actually not.
You really can't. Scoot over here. This one can't really see it. Show your shirt right there. Ew.
Yeah.
Let me see the back. Let me see the back. Turn. Oh, you gotta. There, let the people see. Look at the shirt. Look at that.
There we go.
Look at that. Let's go. Let's get it. We will definitely be having these for sale on the merch store on our website. You already know how we do. What's up, guys? Where y'all chiming in from? Get your husbands, get your spouse, get your wife, get your fiance. Because tonight, I don't know how this is angled. This is usually, I think it's better over here. You think it's better over here?
Yeah.
The lighting is better over there though, but it's all good. There you go, it's much better. Can you like legs open, spread out, like big stuff down there, ain't it? Ain't it? Let me, you got some wet stuff right there. Yeah. So this is a perfect topic, right? So guys.
See how she just changed the whole little the script?
Cause his lips, look at how glossy this lip is. Like what we doing right here?
Right there too.
Hold up, let me see, babe. Right here, hold up. Let me try that.
Silly.
Yo, we gotta have fun, okay? Because I was irritated. I still am though. Like he knows, I get irritated real quick. It's not alright because I really was waiting for that. So, anyways,
that was your main cameo you wanted to do.
I'm gonna just let you be with that.
Okay, so happy Friday, everybody! Again,
we usually don't even come on Fridays.
Yeah.
Look, baby, you gotta suck it in. Look at that. Yeah. We gotta start really working out, guys. Like for real. Like I'm already doing some semi squats, eating a little better tonight.
Doing
it's a little
keto,
bit messed
keto
up.
diet.
I'm working on it. It's a transition. Little by little. Had a good keto lunch and breakfast. Dinner is semi because I know I'm adding a little soda to my gluten-free pizza.
Yeah. So.
But it's trying is what matters, right?
Right. And once the wife goes on a diet, everybody in the house is on a diet.
Don't you need it?
Oh, we all need it.
Right. Exactly. So it's Friday. We normally don't come on Fridays, first of all, because it's usually our family time. We normally have our business financial meetings on Friday.
We do game night.
We do family night most of the time with the kids. Or movie night, one of those. Dinner. It's usually pizza night, right?
Yeah, usually pizza
Something
night.
like that.
Yeah.
But we didn't get on Wednesday night. We had several reasons. My main one was I wanted to announce together. Like, that defeated the purpose. Like, he could have just did it Wednesday night. But anyways, I wanted to announce together the book that we're going to be together reading and doing on these calls. But Brandon is too excited and did it without me.
It's okay.
It's really not. But anyways, so that was one. And then two, I'm not going to lie. I was, like, really not feeling the best, drained, tired. My mouth was still kind of hurting. I was just like, we just got to do it Friday. And plus, it's Friday. Like, what better night than to talk about
sex on a Friday? Sex
on a Friday with them juicy lips.
You talking about withholding.
them lips gonna be doing them. Jay gonna be juicy, all right. Yeah, y'all already know. We gotta talk about that in a couple paragraphs down my list. So y'all better get ready. I'm telling y'all, if you are not live with us right now, you are missing. But if you're on replay, put the R. Tag some friends. I'm about to tag some of my ladies.
Because I know people probably either getting ready to go out tonight.
Coming home from work.
Or they might be getting ready to go to the game if they ain't already at the game. I was talking about the Hawks game tonight, but I'm not watching because the series pretty much over.
The Hawks lost?
Might as well say that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. They just too injured right now.
So sad. Yeah. Atlanta's just... I don't even know why people take time for Atlanta stuff anymore.
Come on, what you mean? We just won the World Series.
One thing out of how many?
We just won the college championship football.
And what else?
This is our year.
Oh, really? And what else?
What else we got to win?
Are the Falcons going to win this year?
That's a different story. They're in a rebuilding phase. So, with that said, guys.
Okay, so get into it, babe.
Is sex
important? Where?
In your marriage.
Is it?
Is it important? I say yes, it is. You know.
I say absolutely. We don't say yes.
Yeah.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
Why? What's the number one reason why?
It's just so good.
No. See, you can't do nothing with her.
It just be so good.
What's the number one reason why?
You know what I'm saying? It's so good, and as long as it's, lit and big and popping and juicy, we good.
Okay. But the number...
You can't talk to me about sex because I have a whole funny situations.
So the number one reason sex is important in your marriage, because the number one thing is sex is a gift from God.
Oh, you want to take it biblical.
No,
you could have mentioned, hey, babe, let's get biblical, then we get into the rawness. Because I just jump straight to the nasty part. Like, I just like it, But of course... tell me about that. So look at him. See, he's coming back. He's gonna try to get it, because he done got on my nerves a second ago. So talk about this, because what?
Sex is a gift from God.
Is that the first thing you put?
No, I put actually just when I started doing more research about it, I put it brings you closer together, but it's a gift from God because what? Why is it a gift from God to you? Because
he wants us to feel good. No, because it connects your union. It brings you to one. Like, literally, like, the insert gets you attached, like, one. Like, if y'all really think about how sex really works, it's really unique how God made the male for his penis to go, y'all already know we're going into this thing, because y'all be ready, y'all better have y'all drinks, into the hole for the vagina. So it's literally a connection, like a grip, right, babe?
Yeah.
How you be saying what you be saying? What's the grip you be saying?
A gorilla grip?
No, ain't no gorilla grip. What you talking about? When that might be too deep. When you be gripping, you might be too deep.
Yeah.
When you be
it's whatever. Anyway.
Yeah. Brandon's like, we're not doing that.
Yeah, not today.
What if there's different sex drives? Oh, we got some questions already chiming in. We early tonight. What if that was actually on one of my things? I appreciate you, Diamond, to have no shame in your questions. Matter of fact, listen, guys, I want y'all to realize, even though we're live, this is a safe place. I know it sounds crazy because we're live, but it is. It's private. I want it to be semi-intimate. We want to get more private with our Zooms. But yes, you so silly. So please don't be embarrassed, shy, scared, concerned about a question or a comment or concern. And if you are, then you could message us directly while we're on here, because our notifications do come up. Of course, we won't say your name. But if not, just go ahead and throw it out there. My homegirl said, what if you're different sex drives? That's a good question. For example, like we have that sometimes. Mm-hmm. Like, well, all this really, listen, I am a full Hispanic, Latina, sexual human being. And Brandon knows, and it's usually me that I'm always like, I want it, I'm ready, let's go, let's get it. And he not always has that drive to be like, okay, I'm gonna give it to you, I'm gonna give you some, whatever, right? But sometimes it's together. Sometimes I'm high and he's high, so that's good. Like, dry, high and drive, high and drive. But if you have different sex drives, so if let's say the wife is dry, like you just like, I'm not feeling it, I'm not, like maybe you tired, and that's one of the things I'm glad that you brought up, because one of the things on our list that causes lack of sex in marriage are the tired, the stress, different things that cause the sex drives to go down. Mm-hmm. So maybe as a wife, as a mom, as a caretaker, as all of the above, our sex drive might be low because we're like, okay, let me get it in more right here. Our sex drive might be low because, we just doing so much. But that again goes into tired. That is really that. It's not that our drive is down. It's just that we're tired. And it causes our drives, our excitement, our, wanting to get some from our husband to be up, right? So the husband is high pace. Like he's high drive. He's ready. He wants it every day, every other day, every, couple days, whatever. What do you do in that scenario? Like for me, I believe that even if it's different sex drives, we should work on scheduling if it's that intense.
Yeah, because then you know what to expect. You know what day.
Yeah, like if you schedule, like let's say your sex drive is low, right? And you might not want it every day, or you might not want it every 2 days.
Yeah.
Then you and your husband have to come to an agreement where let's say he wants it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, for example, and you might just say, well, I'm good with Wednesday and Friday, or I'm good with just Friday. I believe in the marriage that compromise is huge, even when it comes to sex, the drive, and unfortunately, I know it sounds bad, but even if you don't really kind of want some, honestly. Well, and I'm not saying you're forced to have sex with your husband, because you're not. I'm not saying that either.
No, I think it's the expectations of both parties, what you expect. And so, like, I remember even actually hearing, it was funny that I heard, like, Kevin Hart talked about him and his wife. They actually had a day. And so, I guess, I don't know, either one of them sex drive is low. So, when he knew it was that day, he kind of cleared up everything or made sure he had the energy to, because he'd be on the road a lot doing his shows and all this other stuff. So when they had this particular day, he made sure that that day was clear for him, right, where he wasn't exhausted and his drive was up instead of being tired or anything like that.
That's a good point, so that's good, and it's just like preparing it, right? Being able to have the schedule and compromise. Like just because your husband is like, yo, I want it every day, and you're like, oh, well, no, I'm just Fridays. That's not really a compromise, because you're talking about 5 to 7 days that he wants and you just do one. I think there needs to be a middle. And yes, intimacy does affect it, because she asked, does intimacy affect it? Absolutely. For us women, husbands, and Brandon knows this, I tell him directly, like, babe, you have to be more intimate with me. Like you need, like me, I'm big on role play. For me, even though I'm the one that's high and I'm like, yeah, I want it, y'all would have thought I would have been like, in the bed, jump, boom, we done, get it. Like, no. I, as a female, do like to get worked up, like the role play.
Foreplay,
foreplay, and the intimacy is huge. Like, if the intimacy is lacking, like, this is a great example. We don't talk all day. You come home, barely give me a kiss, barely try to tap my butt, barely try to kiss on my cheek or something, or my neck, or I don't know, whatever. Oh, hey, honey, you look beautiful. Or, hey, you don't do any of that, which is all under intimacy, men, husbands. And then comes nighttime. I done put the kids to bed. We made the dinner. We did all this. I'm doing some work. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And then comes 10 o'clock. And you want to just pull it out. And for me to give you, like, okay, come on, let me hop on it. And I'm dry as a desert. Like, you can't even help to get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, intimacy is huge. Intimacy is a big, big deal. it should be discussed with your partner on what you like for intimacy too.
Yeah, and you know, the number one go-to for most men is to give your wife a massage. That's the number one go-to.
Oh, the cheat sheet.
Yeah.
That's
the number one go-to.
That's the easy one without getting nasty.
Who's if your wife resists a massage from you?
But then, see, that's the thing. It's a trick. So there has to be a limit to the trick. You're not gonna be like, let me massage you, and 2 minutes in, you already done pulled it out. Like, at least give me a 5-minute massage.
You do stipulations at times.
Yeah, give me. I'm gonna give you rules and stipulations need to go down.
Yeah. So
can we at least be in the massage for 10, 15? Now we're doing maybe 15.
Well, yeah, you can get like 15.
Get the oil popping.
Yeah.
You know, go down towards the booty part. You know, y'all gotta listen. Y'all don't want us to get real detailed into this because y'all will be getting some right after this.
Mm-hmm.
And be like, well, Janet Brandon said get the oil, get the dig. You know, y'all be in a whole say. Sure, you might be getting it right now while we talking about it because we're real when it comes to like intimacy, the importance of marriage. And yeah, like you said, the relaxation, it's a big deal. And one of the things I wanted to say, even though, like, you know, we love this conversation.
And the massage is good for the man, too. Like, if, you know.
Oh, Brandon knows. My massages, you got to be naked. I tell Brandon all the time, babe, you want a massage? She be like, yeah, can you do my feet? No. You could get a full body massage, butt naked. Okay? That's the way I roll with my massages. Ain't no let me just rub your feet. Like, maybe we watching a movie or something. Okay, I'll do it real quick. But ain't no just like, oh, babe, come on, rub my... No, can you do my back? No. I will do it as you're naked. And then we do the rest, you know? He knows it, though. He'd be like, showing my clothes off. I already know what she's trying to do. That's the funny part.
But, you know, if you've been together, right, you got those certain signals that you can hit off with your wife.
But that's intimacy. Some men don't have... Like, if you're in a stage in your marriage that is not the best, and I discussed this a while ago for the wives, rocky terms, or it's not always good, it's up, down, up, down, up, down, and it might be a day that you're not doing good, them signals ain't going to mean nothing.
I'll be right back.
You going to tell them to tone it down?
Yeah.
Yeah, them signals ain't going to be nothing, because you're going to be like, boy, bye, ain't nobody got time for that. You've been acting crazy all day. You know, I tell Brandon, I'm like, you've been wilding all day and you want to come home and try to get what? Nah, we're going to have to talk tomorrow. Nothing, exactly. Zippo. I would go straight to sleep, shower, take that long shower where your husband falls asleep, go put the baby down to sleep, and you sleep with him. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how we do, wives. You already know. But listen, all jokes aside, right? When it comes, y'all see my shirt, hashtag marriage porn. Marriage porn, y'all see it, go to our Instagram, marriage and then porn, acronym with a dot in the middle. But I will say, guys, like, even though we're having, like, you know, being silly or being fun, like, I'm dead serious about all this stuff. But the main reason why we really did want to get into this topic tonight, and I know, you know, hopefully we got some more viewers on. Hopefully some more people get the views and watch the replay. But the reason why this was a huge topic for us, and it's not just because, we like to always talk about sex and that. No, it's not the case. We don't mind it, which is the crazy part, which is how we know we're called to minister in this, because we don't mind it. Like, we're very bold. But the main thing is, guys, one of the top 5 reasons marriages fail is because of lack of sex.
Yep.
Maybe it might be better back there, babe.
Okay.
You like it?
Yeah.
It's because of lack of sex.
And
maybe not too bad, because right here.
Okay.
So think about it. One of the top 5 of reasons why marriages fail. What I mean by that is they either divorce, they're either miserable for their whole life married, which I've seen it, I believe it. There are still marriages out there that are not happy and fulfilled in a marriage and stay in the marriage 40, 50, 60 years until you even until they pass. Like, they weren't happy. They'll tell people in their deathbed, like, you know, hey, I know me and your dad didn't have the best relationship, but, you know, we raised y'all, like, for real deep conversations, and the person was never happy. Me personally, guys, and Brandon knows this, I am very big on having a fulfilled, happy marriage. I'm big on it. When me and him argue, or when we are fighting, or when something is going on, he knows I'd be like, listen, we not doing this. Because when we did have a time that we weren't good, I told him, like, if this is how we're going to be, we don't need to be together. Because I did not want to be upset or miserable in the marriage. Like, and we had a period that we were upset. Like, up, down, don't like you, barely was getting some. And I'm like, if this is what marriage is, which I know it's not, we got to separate. You know, so everyone should have that. So that's the main reason why we really wanted to get into it, because a lot of couples don't talk about this.
And so the reason there's also a lack of sex is mainly because of stress.
That's one of the, when we go to the top 5, that's one of them.
And I see where stress can play a major part in the lack of sex in your relationship, because and you can just be stressed from just everyday activities that's going on in your household. It might be financial wise, it might be career wise,
it might be the in-laws,
it might be family, it might be
kids, things that are going on around the house that is not getting done, or you guys are not working together to help each other out as a team, you know. See, but and then some of the things you just said, babe, I know he said this earlier when we were taking our notes and talking about it, is one of the biggest thing is, I was mentioning, like, when you're busy and stuff and stress and all that. And Brandon was like, you're not that busy that you're just not having sex with your partner. And I was like, well, some people do and some people are.
Well, I figure like this.
Like, what if you have different schedules?
Yeah, you can have different schedules, but I figure you still can make time for that intimacy, right? And I think there's always time for that.
But do you want to make time?
And that's the thing, because somebody might just be busy just so they don't have to be intimate.
Yep. So ladies, wives, y'all on here, and you're sitting here with like, girl, I just be so busy. I don't got time to be giving him some. You're lying. You're making the busy. You're making the busy. Like, there's been times, and I know this is, like, we talking, this is what we do. There's been times that we've had a busy, crazy day, and it'll be 2 in the morning. We getting it popping. 2, 3 in the morning. We be up like we was at the club at 5 o'clock. Like, oh snap, it's 5 in the morning. We's popping. Like, we getting it in. Yep.
Or it's
in the morning.
In the morning, exactly.
And if you're not the morning sexual person, then you need to schedule that sucker in
late at night.
Late at night, or before, once the kids go to bed, or whatever. If you
on the late night tip.
Something, or the schedule it like
midday.
Yeah, you know, there's different scenarios. There's different ways. Yeah, go. You know, different. There is, at the end of the day, what we put time into is what we prioritize. So, ladies on the call, and even for, like, you know, husbands, think about your day. What do you put all your time into? Most of us are normally at the 9 to 5. That's most of the time we're putting our time into that. When we come home, if you're especially like us moms, you're doing the dinner, getting the kids, and you know, the husbands help too. But for wives, especially with kids, is mainly work, kids, house, and then we're like, oh, husband, hey, come here. That's really how the average person really normally moves. Now, our big point here is we have to shift that, and this is why we are called, we want to uplift and empower, and this is why we're having a program starting in May about empowering your marriage, because it should be the other way around. It should be your husband, right? Then the kids, then your job. But I know somebody like, but I go to work all day. It don't mean they got to be prioritized. Yes, it's important. I'm not saying it's not. But in the morning, are you messaging your husband first? Are you kissing him in the mornings? Are you telling him, hey, babe, what's up? I'm on the way to work. Hey, are you showing that? You know, are you getting your kids off to school early, setting the breakfast? You're showing that priority. Are you setting up that time with your husband to get it going? And then for later, even, you know, setting that tone. Like my husband talked about before. So it's really prioritized. So that whole spiel If anybody ever wants to come to me where I just don't have time, even if you mention I'm just too tired, girl, because I've had some of my girlfriends tell me, girl, I just be tired. Figure your schedule out. If you're so tired, check on your schedule. Minimize some of the things or move around some things. We know how to move a schedule and how to, why is it dark? And how to organize certain things so we are not, like Brandon says, schedule it so we're not tired.
And also, hey, you tired? I know. Somebody in particular get energy after that. You know what I mean? So, you know, some people work different. Some people might get tired after sex, and some people might get energized after sex as well.
Mainly you should be tired because it should have been a popping show. Should have been a whole entertainment, 500
but sometimes
calories.
It can be the energy. You can get the energy after
for the day. Like, okay, we about to get this day started to set my mode. Yeah, you might be that person. I know I'm not. I'd be like, boy, I'm done. Shutting the whole day off. Workload is done, right? Now, another key question, guys, is how often is sex, should it be required or should it be handled in your marriage? What do y'all think? I'm not gonna answer that on our end right now. I'm gonna wait towards a little bit later. I'm gonna let some people chime in as we're talking. People hopping on and stuff, and I'm gonna see what you guys think throughout the video. How many times a week should a marriage have sex? I'm not asking about a month. If you say 0 times a week, and you're going into maybe once a month or twice a month or every couple of months, there's a problem. And I will say that. Unless it's a medical reasoning, like, you know, if you're ill, cancer, like if it's a real situation like that, then of course it's not, we understand it's not a problem, right? But if you're fine and you working, you going shopping, you going out with your girls, you going on vacations, and you not having sex with your spouse, like weekly basis, we have to really have a discussion. Absolutely, I will say it. And I know some people are like, yo, y'all crazy, but I'm going to say it. If you're that person, private message us and really consider or really join our program that starts on May 15th. Because we're really going to dive in the importance and the value of communication with your spouse, the intimacy with your spouse, connecting with your spouse, you know, and falling back in love with your spouse.
Yeah, and those are some great points because you got to figure out things and activities that'll get you back on the right track, you know. And it's other things, like I told you guys before, that it's mental notes as far as us husbands. We got to take for our wives mental notes on things they like, things to get their mind going and get their juices flowing as far as that. You know, to get them ready to be prepared for that night or that day or whenever we plan to have that, you know. So you can't lack it. And if it's something that she likes to do, a hobby or something, that's when you sacrifice to get what you want, right?
And wait, what do we call that? Ladies, we call that when you lose interest. Because I've heard scenarios, remember, I've done counseling for years. I've heard scenarios where one of the spouses tells me, I just lost interest. I'm just not into him. I'm just not into the sex. It's just boring.
But the
it
question
just lacks.
If you're not into him, did that just happen overnight?
No, that snowball effect.
That's something that's been growing.
Mm-hmm.
But
Has it been discussed?
And see, that's the thing. You can't let something like that grow. You got to nip that in the bud right away.
Right away. You can't wait a year, 5, 7, 6, 7 months and let it just keep growing where the intimacy done broke off. Exactly. Lack of communication falls off. Now you're not even telling your spouse that, hey, I'm not into you or I'm not.
Now, it has been situations that we came across where somebody in the relationship is scared to actually tell the person why they're not attracted to them anymore. How does
and
that
it doesn't have to be physical.
It don't have to be physical.
You know, we've had instances where it was physical with one of the couples we know. He just wasn't interested in her anymore. She gained some weight. And it happens, especially wives, especially if you have kids. And I know I'm working on, my weight loss and all that. But it happens. And he didn't know how to tell her. He didn't know how to discuss it. He didn't know. Yeah, there you go. He didn't know how to bring it up to her. But it was affecting their sexual vibe, their energy, their connection. He wasn't attracted to her. Then you could also be losing attraction with the intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so... What are they doing? So many different scenarios where now you're slowing down the interest with your spouse. And if you're not talking about it, don't be surprised, and I hate to say this, but adultery starts creeping in.
Yep.
And I'm not saying, and I'm going to say this nice and clear for my ladies, because I know somebody going to be like, oh, you saying it's okay? No, I'm not justifying having an affair. I am saying that can cause a bit of a trigger to have the male or the female to look elsewhere or get, let's be honest, like when y'all was younger and had a boyfriend and the boyfriend didn't call you, you went to the other dude, the other football player that he called you. Same thing is with marriage. Like, I don't understand why people are so scared to be like, well, he's not supposed to look, because listen, a male is a male. He is human, he is flesh. He's not supposed to look. We're not supposed to do nothing. But when the devil knows the connection, the communication, the intimacy is not there, so instead of me and Brandon being like this, now we have a gap. Now this next little thought gonna come in the middle and start telling Brandon, oh man, you working hard today. Oh, and then she could have just been saying he lifted something harder. I don't know, whatever. He probably hasn't had a compliment from his wife in months. That probably had him in the head like, oh, she thinking I'm working hard. Psh, I know my wife don't tell me that, or she don't talk to me. Like, this is in a man's mind. And why am I saying this? Because we discussed these scenarios. And I know I have, real talk with my male friends. But some women want to be blind. No, he's never going to go nowhere. I'm just not going to give him none. Sis, he will. He might still be married and have a whole wife on the other side, or side chick, or whatever y'all want to call it. And you might never know. It could be, people live double lives. Or he might just get caught in a couple of affairs and you back to still, well, I'm definitely not giving him none because he done cheated.
When you're just punishing yourself.
So now it's like, why be married to this person? Adultery got in the game. It's getting worse and worse and worse. Why be in the marriage, right? So that's what we're trying to get into when it comes to, loss of intimacy, no communication, kids.
And so the way that you want to break that down, if you're not telling your spouse why you're not attracted to him.
And what if it's not good?
Why you're not attracted to him right away, then, like she said, that's for other things to creep in. And then, if y'all not having a sexual connection. If y'all not having a sexual connection, that's something that's also got to be discussed too.
That's deep. When it's that deep that even the connection is missing, because like Brandon said, it doesn't happen overnight. Yeah. So you start with the intimacy. You go to the communication. You start lacking, you don't do date nights. You don't really hang out. You don't really talk. Now you're not even into the person. Now are you even having orgasms when you do have sex? Let's talk about the main topic.
Yeah, so, and then now you start playing this role and you're faking just to get the job done. What about that?
And what about the fake orgasm?
Yeah, you faking the orgasm to get it over with. Now sex done turned into a job.
And I've had women, and it sucks that it's women. I've had women tell me, I feel like it's a job. I feel like it's like not a hobby, but like I have to be on call or something. And sex should not be feeling like a job. It should be like the entertainment show, turn up. And then I will say, guys, if, like Brandon said, if you're losing interest, if you're losing that, one of the biggest things that we read, because we do look things up, is you have to start bringing in new things into the relationship. What do I mean by that? Ask him about one of his fantasies. Or ask her if it's her. Ask her one of her fantasies. Sure, I might be like, Brandon, I want you to wear the elephant underwear thing.
Or you might,
you know what I'm saying? He might be like, oh, that's crazy, but let's order one, right?
Or you might have a nurse outfit, or you might be a teacher.
Brandon would do some role play.
See, you can do stuff like that.
But you talk about these things. But remember, it goes back to, even if your spouse is telling you what he would like to make it better, if you're not into your spouse or feeling him, it's not going to matter.
Yeah, because they're not going to do that.
Or even if you did, even if I wore a nurse outfit, I'll be like,
yeah,
got the nurse outfit, what you want, okay.
Yeah, that's lame.
So now we done messed up the vibe, the energy. So it all goes back to bringing us together, bringing the intimacy, becoming one. And then honestly, guys, and for real, seek counseling. Like, and it's not just come to our program. Like, yes, come to our program. Absolutely, come to our program, because we're going to do a group setting for 6 weeks. But also seek your actual individual and family marriage counselor that you can seek privately, because it's more than that. And if you don't even want to, or if you can't do it or whatever, then ask yourself, what are these next questions in our marriage? Because realistically, I've seen way too many cases where the people are just not happy, it's just not being discussed, and you're living routine to routine to routine in a marriage. I've seen it. I actually had one of my family members ask me one day, recently. She was like, Jen, it's difficult. We have a baby. He has a very strenuous career. She has a very strenuous career. How are we implementing us time? How are we implementing sex time? How are we implementing family time? Like, she really was one-on-one. And I gave her some things and, tips and assigned, homeworks, and I gave her some things. She's like, man, that's good. I didn't think about some of these things.
Another thing that could also cause the lack of sex is also, and you might not think it's a big thing, but verbal abuse. And it don't have to be.
I didn't even think about that one.
You don't have to be where you get into an argument and you yelling at each other. It can be even far as the wife not letting her man feel like a man, feeling less than a man.
What's that called? Emancipating your husband.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. Oh, excuse me, emasculating your husband. My friend had told me about that. I was like, what does that mean? And she broke it down to me. And I was like, I knew what it was. I just didn't know the word for that, But when she mentioned this, I was like, wow. Like, how does that? You tell me from a man, how does that apply? Like, what does it look like?
Well, going into the bedroom and having sex, you're the dominant. You're the alpha,
there you go.
Right? You're the alpha. You're the dominant. You're the alpha of the house. You should be, right? Mm-hmm. So if you don't have that confidence, even just in the household walking around, why would you have that same confidence in the bedroom?
So give an example of confidence in the house walking around. What does that mean? What does that look like? For my wives out there that don't even realize that you're, emasculating your husband. I never thought of this in this matter until someone brought it up to me. Because I'll tell you the truth. Y'all already know the old, before Jesus was mainly in my life, my mouth was really, 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 really bad. It's still kind of bad, but it was 10 times bad. And I would say some harsh things to Brandon, and I would, some words, and I didn't think nothing of it. I was like, man, I was raised and brought up with a whole bunch of gangster, crazy dudes in the hood. Boom, this is what it is. What it is. Mm-hmm. And Brandon be like, nah, I'm not even messing with you. Like, I don't even want to deal with you. At that time, he didn't even want to date me. That's how bad it was. He didn't want to date me, and I was devastated because I was working on becoming a better person, but it wasn't working out. And I didn't know what that was at the time until recently, a couple years back, when one of my girlfriends brought it up. And I was like, wow, that's a big, big deal. You, ladies, really look it up. What it means to what is it? Emasculate. Emancipates when you leave the home. Emasculate a man. So give an example of how that would be in the house.
If we're in the house and pretty much I'll put it like this. If you're saying something but it's not in a like, if you're critiquing me on something, you're saying, oh, you don't do this, you don't never do that, or I gotta do everything. I guess I'm the man around the house, or I have to do everything. You don't do nothing. You can't do nothing. What are you good for?
So not giving a say so.
Yeah, what are you good for? Stuff like that, and not boosting that man's confidence.
So that's very demeaning.
Yeah.
So you're demeaning, minimizing, whatever the word is, bringing a man down. So then think about it. If you bringing him down to the ground, like he basically ain't nothing. Like, I could be by myself. I don't need you.
Yeah.
All them crazy things. I used to say some craziness, guys. Okay, all that. And sometimes the husbands be like, "Then why you here? Then why you with me? Okay, fine, I'm leaving." And some of y'all think it's a game, but when the husband really goes, or something really goes on, you mad. But why? If he feels that way when that happens, how do y'all think he's gonna feel if he's going to try to initiate some sex? Or if he's gonna try, like, what if you're like, "Well, I want us to get wild tonight." He gonna be like, "But you said I'm good for nothing." His ego, his self-esteem just went to the floor.
Right.
So that's a good one. That's a lot. That's abuse and stuff. That's really good.
So, and the same vice versa, far as men with their wives too. You could say, you could say, I do everything around here. Guys that say something like, "I do everything. All I need is for some sex."
I used to say that.
Or it's a lot of women like, this is all you do. It's other women that do that I can find to do the same thing. Stuff like that. And pretty much is what you're doing is you're shooting down somebody's confidence. And when you shoot somebody's confidence down, they can't perform. That's just period. You know what I mean? Especially
a man's head.
Yeah, they can't perform and give you. And that's what, when you're in the bedroom, you should be willing to give your best and your all.
All.
You right? You want to give your best and your all, and when you're in that,
because your partner can tell when you're not.
Exactly.
If you're connected.
If you know, you can be in the midst of something, and you be like, "Hold up," and just completely stop. Like, what's going on here? Because this ain't you. The vibe is gone. It ain't going. It ain't popping right now.
I've done that too.
And it could be a lot of situations. It might be something on their mind or whatever. But
that's a big deal for men. I didn't know that when you have so much stuff on your minds, men, maybe not all of y'all, but I know Brandon, when he has a lot like business, money, projects, activities, meetings, so much on his mind. And I can tell because we'll try to get in the zone, this and that. Listen, I do a backflip and everything. Okay, I try to do it. I try to do a backflip, right? And he just be like,
but
babe.
But what that results back to?
And he don't even got to say much but that, and I can see, it's like I almost see words around his forehead going through, like around his head, like going, like running. And I'll be like, "Yo, you got a lot on your mind right now, huh?" And I even try to ease it, wives, if y'all know what I mean. I try to ease his mind, and he just be like, when it's like that intense, like really that bad, I just be like, "All right, I'm not going to sit here and break my mouth," you know what I'm saying? To get it popping when he's really in a whole other planet. That doesn't make sense. Why tired yourself?
So this is the thing too.
Get you all roused up.
And that's when it goes back to when I talked about earlier this week about man's self-care. The man's self-care is more of a mental state than a physical state. A lot of women need to understand that. When a man does self-care, it's more of a mental state than a physical state. When a woman is more of a physical state.
Y'all make sure you go watch that replay. It's on our YouTube. It was really, really good. He explains that into detail. I don't want him to double do it.
Yeah.
Because we're taking, too much time up. But that's really, really good. What I did want to say, babe, is, believe it or not, 20% of marriages are sexless.
That's wild.
What is sexless? First of all, I didn't even know this was a thing.
If anybody's doing that, please chime in.
I didn't even know this was a thing.
A sexless.
Hold up, but what is sexless though? Because I thought it was like, oh, you just not giving some for a couple weeks or months or whatever. There's really a thing called sexless, which is a marriage that has not had sex for more than a year. And listen for my older folks out there. Y'all probably gonna be like, y'all don't understand, y'all young. When you old, I know some older folks that still get it in. My grandparents, I know they was getting it in because I remember one time, my grandma told me that she had to be like 70, 80 something, right? But it was like a couple years before she passed. And we got a box in the house, and it was some sex stuff. And everybody was asking around, like all my aunts, all my cousins, and it said my grandma's name. So we were sitting there, look at Omar, geez, crying. A year, son, a whole year. This is life. It's real. I pray. Lord Jesus, I pray. So, it had my grandma's name and everything on the box. And everybody was like, yo, there's no way grandma ordered this sex stuff. There's no way. And we didn't want to talk to her, though. We was like, nah. So we asked him.
You felt kind of in a disrespectful.
Yeah, like we're not about to ask her because she'd be like, why would I do that? Like, and then someone else get in trouble, right? Yeah. So we like aunts are like, no, because I don't even remember. I even think it was a toy or some craziness. It was just nuts. Come to find out, it was my grandmother. She had like one of my cousins. I guess they were looking at. I don't know how this went down, but it got ordered. And I would never forget that. And we all was like, what? Like, grandma still, whatever. We don't even know. We don't want to know. We never found out the whole details. We just knew it was hers. Like, she grabbed the box. She was like, mm-hmm. And she walked away like, y'all really thought it wasn't me? And we were like, what? And just to know, like, my grandparents were married for, like, 50, 70-something years. They got married at 15 years old and passed away when they were 87. So you do the numbers. They had over 25 kids. Y'all work the numbers.
Hashtag marriage goals.
15 years old is kind of young, but yes, 80-something years, that's marriage goals, you know. But there is such a thing as called sexless marriage. And believe it or not, those marriages, I looked this up, guys, start using non-sex ways to express marriage love, to cope for sexless marriage, to try to rule out divorce. That's bananas. Like, okay, think about this. Let me say it one more time. The sexless marriage, they use non-sex ways to express love, to cope with basically not going through a divorce or separation, to try to have something in the mix. So can I think of an example? I don't even understand how while you're doing some non-sex things, I don't understand how it says they start using non-sex ways. I don't know what that means in non-sex ways to cope, but I know if anything comes near me when it's a sexual thing and it's been over a year, it's like game over. So what I hear from this, I think I know what you're gonna say. What I interpret is, especially if you got kids, I interpret like if we had a daughter and we wasn't having that, I would be doing like a lot of daddy-daughter dates, taking her get her nails done. So distractions. Yeah. Like I would instead of really spoiling my wife, I would be spoiling my daughter. But do you really think this is like a younger marriage? Or do you, because if you're talking about a daughter, because they said that, like, if you're talking about a daughter, babe, if you're talking about a 5-year-old, 7-year-old daughter, and we're not getting it in still, or it can be your teenage daughter. You can take her shopping. Y'all can go eat. It don't have to be a younger daughter too, because teenage. Okay, let me think about it. Francisco's 8, so 9, 10, 11, 12. 5 years from now, I'll be 40. Yeah, I'ma still want to get some. But get what I'm saying. What they're doing is they're trying to avoid divorce. So you heard of those parents, and I know you guys heard of those parents that stayed together until the kids graduated. Mm-hmm. Right? They stayed together. They slept in a separate bedroom. They slept in a separate bedroom. Well, no, some of them sleep in the same room, and then when the kids leave, they separate and never get a divorce. Well, I knew one that stayed in a separate bedroom, and they just stayed together until the kids graduated from high school. They coexist. Like they was married, but they really wasn't, and they wasn't having sex. You know what? I'm gonna make that a topic, and I'm gonna circle it so we remember it. Coexist, but no sex, marriage. Because I want to talk about a whole non-existing sex marriage. I really do, on a whole separate live. Because we'll be here for a whole another half an hour. So guys, there is such a thing, and if that's you, if you want to put in the comments, let us know. I would love to talk to somebody with a whole year of no sex. Like, you married,
Yeah.
and you have a whole year. Like,
I want to talk to the dude. How's that working? Like, for real. Like, really, what do you...
Do you think they're handling their own business?
I think so. But, you know, anyway.
Or you could be having affairs. You're just not having sex with your husband.
Somebody doing something.
But if they're older, you got to remember this.
Or, you know...
if you're older, what if that's not even in your radar?
Or you could be going through a depression.
He said, I seen that as well. I had a friend in the situation. 4 years for his daughter to start school.
Wow.
Sheesh.
Yeah, see...
That's like depriving yourself of living your best life.
But
Like, y'all don't understand how deep, health-wise, an orgasm is. Y'all don't understand how deep, health-wise, sex is. They say that the more sex you have, the longer you live. You guys know this is real.
They also say it boosts your immune system, too.
This keeps pulling up.
It says it boosts your immune system. But look, check this out real quick before we go in there. And the sex, I can see another aspect to it, where if you're having that sexless marriage, like your cravings, maybe that was replacing your sex. Like if you like chocolate, say you like chocolate.
I want that chocolate on that thing.
Yeah, say if you like chocolate, but the fact that y'all having sex, y'all sexless in y'all marriage, you might get
some chocolate and then you play with it and then you
no. You might sit up on a girl might cuddle up on the couch and eat a whole thing of ice cream or chocolate ice cream, and that satisfied her. There's no sex. It's like cravings that satisfy you over your sex.
But you can't compare that to an orgasm.
You can't. But
the ice cream.
But once there's a period of time that
passes, it is what it is.
It is what it is. So your cravings, like, you might be out and you're like, you know what I want.
But you know what? And then think about this, and then we done because this is gonna be a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
But think about this: if you that deep into no sex, are you even involved with your spouse?
You're just doing stuff to stay.
Are you even? Because I know me. You walk around with your thing hanging out, and we ain't getting none all year.
No, they covered up. They don't.
No. They probably can do that, but because they're not into each other, the wife probably don't get phased. It's like, man, get that little thing over there.
You crazy? Something got to be done. Listen.
But if you're older, what if you're older and it's not a big deal?
I don't look.
We have to get some older couples.
Yeah,
I want to talk to like my 70-year-old, 60-year-old couples, marriages, and like for real get into a topic like it's the sex really die?
Yeah.
Like does it really dry? Like is it really bad?
Where does it go from there? Yeah.
So I'm gonna hit up some of my older marriages. If y'all get messages from me, this is why. Don't be like think we crazy and awkward if I message you.
We just want to be
like, hey, y'all still having sex?
Yeah, like for real. Because but look, you got to know these things before it happen. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because if you're at this age that we are right now, you want to know these things. Once you get to that age, how does that work out? You get what I'm saying? It's just like Well,
I do know that one of these marriage groups that I'm in. This married couple, they're like in their 60s. Remember I told you the other day? They're in their 60s. And the wife, because somebody put in the chat, how often do y'all have sex? Her and her husband, has been months, blah, blah, blah. And some older lady, she said they're in their 60s. He's in his 70s. And she was like, we get it in every couple of days.
Okay.
Like, they're really active. You know, so that everybody was like, man, congratulations. Because I guess people have this big thing of you're just like, whoop.
Yeah, when you get older, things ain't working right or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But, this is something that we need to find out because heading towards that age, you want to know what you should be doing or what they're doing or, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just like the example of when you got kids and they're about to graduate and you've been spending your whole life handling kids, and now they graduate, and you're like, oh, I don't know this person. I don't know
who are you? We ain't never dated all these 20 years.
Yeah, so.
So if you're on here and you've been married long, like and you're older, you're like in your 60s, 70s, and you're still intimate and having sex and having a great marriage and life, please put it in the comments, message us. I really would like, it's interesting.
It's helpful information.
So then we really don't have too much time left to be able to go over these last ones. It's almost, it hasn't really been a full hour because you went to go do stuff, I was doing stuff. So it's been about 45 minutes. But we did talk about the loss of interest. We talked about like getting frisky, doing different things to bring back that spark. You do want to work on, like Brandon's saying, you want to work on the spark now. You don't want to be like, we getting some every 3 months. And then next thing you know is, we're getting some every 5 months. Next thing you know, we getting some every year. We getting some every 2 years. Like, you want to start now to keep replenishing and refreshing your marriage. Like kind of our program, Renew the Marriage.
Fulfill each other fantasies.
Yeah, like start building it up. Like if you wives, if you realize, like, wait a minute, he's not pleasing me like he used to, or I'm not feeling him like before. Immediately when that happens, you need to talk to your husband
and see what changed.
What changed? Was it you? Was it him? Was it your hormones? Was it his hormones? My looks, his looks, the energy, the vibe? Was it a session that he was just like not fulfilling and you like, yo, what happened? Like, were you just not in the zone, or
what's going on?
What's going on? Do we have to do makeup, or like, do we gotta go buy some new toys? Like, what are we doing? Like, you have to start early versus letting it kind of like rot and just like, 5 years later,
you don't know,
he's with Anna down the road.
That's the next thing.
And that's pretty much it. Sex talk, different ideas. I did put on here, which we'll talk about it. I think we'll just do another topic of orgasms and toys. I talked about it yesterday for the wives. The importance of discussing these orgasms. Like, if you're not having it with your spouse, discuss it. You should. And if it doesn't happen every time, it's like kind of okay, but not like more than once. Like, if it's a week, y'all done got it in 3 or 4 times, and you didn't have orgasm the whole week, then we might have a situation. Talk to your spouse.
Or it might need to be like a teach session.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's good too. A teach. Use me, baby.
Yeah.
Let me tell you my spots.
Yeah.
And listen, wives, I want to say this. I said this last night. Husbands, y'all listening? It is harder for the wife to have an orgasm than the man. Why? That's just what it is, right? We have a certain organ that is just made for us, only us, to have that orgasm and to feel good. So it's a little bit harder for us to get there. And husbands, just so y'all know, it's easier for the wife to do her thing when she's on top. This is all research. I know y'all like, yo, she crazy. It is what it is. It just all makes sense now, because I'm like, oh, no wonder why.
Well, you missing it for the wives that don't like to be on top.
If you don't like to be on top, then I promise you, if you that wife that do not like to be on top and you probably are not getting many orgasms, try it out. Like, get on top, change your attitude, change the vibe, change the energy. I'm gonna need some of y'all wives to change your energy.
Yeah, and you can't have lazy sex.
Like, for real. Like, change the energy. If you tired, like that tired, talk to your spouse and be like, babe, can we do a makeup like tomorrow night, in the morning?
Go get a Red Bull.
Go, run around the house, do some squats or something. Put on, Brandon puts on, what is that I like? That song? My dude.
Oh, we put on some hip hop. We
I got a specific dude though that he knows. I be knocked out. He puts it on. I be like, at the club, turned up. What's his name?
Tiger.
I love me some Tiger. Ladies, put on some Tiger. Okay, y'all know what he do. He get it crunking. Okay, he'll get you in a whole nother level. You and your spouse, cause his songs TYGA. Look him up. Okay, his songs. He has a song called Nasty. Is it Nasty? Get it poppin', ladies. Okay, don't be lazy. Get on top, handle your business, get your orgasm,
fellas,
get
the
it
same
poppin'.
thing too. Don't be lazy either, fellas, because you can fall into that lazy.
If you do have problems with orgasms, don't hit us up. Let us know. We'll talk. We keep it real. You should be living your best lives through your spouse with the sex.
Also boosting the self-esteem as well. Boosting the self-esteem.
Yeah, it's so funny. Speaking about that, and then we gotta go. I'll say something to Brandon. Oh yeah, and then we gotta go. Y'all thought you already did that. You already did that.
No,
so boosting self-esteem. Listen, I did. Y'all gotta go watch the replay. Listen, this is the funny part, and then I'm done. I'll be boosting him up, right? And this ladies take note. Boost him up in the bedroom, right? Or wherever y'all get it popping. Boost him up. Whatever, right? He knows. Because then we'll get into like a little disagreement later the next day or whatever, a couple of days. I don't know, whatever. And he'll throw it back like, oh, you ain't saying that the other day. Y'all know how your husbands do. And I'll be like, man, I was just saying that to get you amped. Don't go nowhere, please. You're not going there. That was just to get it popping that moment. You're not about to use that. And he'd be like, oh, word, that's what that was. And I'm like, what am I going to do? Wives, we're not going to tell our spouse in the moment, like, man, this is whack. Get out of here. You're not, because then it'll mess up the whole vibe. You got to pump it up. Like, man, this shit pop. You got to get it, pump it up. So the man, y'all know the ego, the man be like, oh yeah, like they feel like they the jungle king and shit, So listen.
Is that the same thing where we feel like we run the house but y'all really run it?
That's the same thing. That's the same thing. My aunt told me, my grandma told me from day one.
Really?
We run the house. We just make them feel and believe that they run it. Mm-hmm. Like he said, Brandon be like, yeah, babe, you told me this. I know, because I already said that though.
Game recognized game.
Right? So, but listen, we had a great talk. Now let's get into our book. Let me see. Announcement of the book. Y'all still on here? Let me know. Chime in here since you already talked about it.
Intended for pleasure.
Okay, you gotta do a better introduction, babe.
All right, well, you do it on me like that, because you already made me feel bad about.
Good, he should. So listen, this is how it should have really kind of went. So guys, starting on Monday, if y'all can tonight, I know 99% of the world has Amazon Prime. This book I ordered it yesterday because I was supposed to pick it up at the store. They didn't have it. They ran out. Barnes and Nobles. Go check it out. This is $15 to $20. Okay? This book, Intended for Pleasure. We're going to start Monday on our live, or he might do
No, we do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah, we might do something like that.
Monday,
but listen, Intended for Pleasure. I said at the beginning, the Barkers are huge when it comes to sex talks. Why? Because it's one of the top 5 reasons why a marriage is divorced. After this season, we're going into finances. Because it's one of the top 2 or 5, which is the second one, is finances. Sex and finances. Biggest reasons why people divorce. And then there's communication, stuff like that. We'll go over that. We're going to do seasons of this. So, Intended for Pleasure.
What are some of the chapters?
Some of the chapters, and then y'all could Google it. Intended for Pleasure by Ed Wheat. The chapter, so for example, it says sex technique and sexual fulfillment in Christian marriages. Now, I will have a disclosure. If you are not, we're not forcing like a Christian or whatever belief. You can, you believe what you believe, guys. However, the Barkers are, Christian marriage, right? So we did think this was a big deal. Still get the book, even if it's a different religion, like, you can kind of tweak it and get your own reasonings. But so some of the chapters are choosing to love, understanding the basics, one flesh, the techniques of lovemaking. That's going to be interesting. Solutions to common problems. For the pre-orgasmic wife, fulfillment ahead. For the husband with erectile dysfunction, fulfillment again. The power of sexual intimacy, the perfect wife, planning and achieving parenthood, sex during pregnancy, we not there yet. Sex after 60, 70, and 80. So this is going to be really, really good. And I will say, this was Brandon's idea. I will give him the credit. He was like, we need to get like a spicy sex book or something, like a Gray's, what is that?
50 Shades of Grey.
50 Shades of Grey. He was like getting deep.
Mixed with religion.
Right. So I'm like, let me Google something. And some books came up, and this one was like, oh, this is juicy. I looked at the titles. I looked at the chapters. It's going to be really, really good. It goes over improving sexual response, sex techniques, sex at any age, solutions for the sex problems, and much, much more. Sex and sexuality for couples and marriages. This is big, guys. So go get the book. I'll put it on. I'll put a picture of it. We'll be back on Monday discussing. I appreciate y'all getting on. Thank you.
Thank you
Went
guys
a little bit longer
on.
than the usual, but it was great. I appreciate y'all. Have a blessed one.
Yeah, have a great weekend.
Have a blessed weekend. Thank y'all.
Go get some.
Right. Go get it. popping. Silly. Silly, silly.